Ladies and gentlemen, here we go! We are back at East versus West 18, and it is showtime. Took a little while, but we are back with our matches. And the next one to come up is our Ladies World Championship match on the right arm to be contested over 7 rounds of arm wrestling. I would like you to welcome this lady making her debut here in East versus West. Please raise it up and rip up the roof for Elin Janeheim. Ladies and gentlemen, that is one super focused young lady right there at the table. The super aggressive, super focused Elin Janeheim is waiting for her opponent, and we're going to bring her out. Be careful what you wish for. Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady needs no introduction anywhere in the world of arm wrestling, and she is a multiple and defending Swedish national champion. She is also a multiple EAF European champion, WAF champion of the world, and the reigning and defending East versus West champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Fia Reisek!
Travis Bajan, we have got a world title match on the line here, the 70-kilo female division. Fia Reisek, your defending champion, of course, the current left and right champion, and the young lady challenging her. She is hungry for it. She is so hungry for it, Travis.
No doubt. And listen, anybody here whose kids are involved in travel athletics, we understand nothing worse than going on a 7-hour road trip to compete against somebody in your same hometown. But that's what we have going on with these two ladies. Yeah, both from the same area, both with an amazing pedigree. But let's make no mistake about it. One of the most talented female arm wrestlers in the world is at the table. Her name, Fia Reisek.
Don't move. Go!
And there's the slip. And you can see high knuckle position there from Fia Reisek. Good confident start, but lots of energy there from Elin Janeheim. Elin, of course, Travis, the youngest ever to win a WAF world title at just 14 years of age. She won that. Extraordinary stuff. Now 23 years of age.
Reminds me of a young Travis Bajan there. First time out, super successful, Ryan. Guys like you took 3 or 4 years to get your first amateur title, but not me and not her. Here we go. What an outstanding pedigree of arm wrestling when you're talking about the Swedish women. We all know as soon as they walk into the joint, there's gonna be fun, and there is a lot of tenacity when it comes to Swedish arm wrestling.
All right, let's have a look at the techniques setting up here. You can see the high knuckle position there from Fia Reisek, the world champion. And you can see a lot of reaching through, good depth there from Elin. And there's the start, but wow, Fia Reisek is strong. And she's showing why she is the current world champion with a decisive victory there in round 1.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, her static strength looks so good in that setup. You could see she had the high knuckle position. She looked rigid through her back pressure and just waited for that go and launched directly side for a quick pin.
Super strong, super fast, super efficient. Ladies and gentlemen, Fia Reisek putting on a clinic here in Chicago, Illinois, and a huge, huge part of the East vs. West product. This young lady is a true champion and the only female champion to hold the left and the right hand division. The belts are all hers. Ryan, do you think you, sir, will ever have a world championship belt from East vs. West?
Well, that's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream of every arm wrestler, but Fia Reisek certainly is demonstrating exactly how to achieve that with dominance so far. Elin Janeheim, I've seen her face Fia Reisek many times. She's taken rounds off Fia, but never has actually defeated her in a super match or in a tournament setting. So she knows how to pin Fia. She's just got to find that lane. Let's see if she can do it in round number 2.
Grip.
Okay, high knuckles position there from Elin this time. Looks a slight technique adjustment. But let's see if there is going to be any holding on here or we'll be straight back to the straps. Fia Reisek, of course, confident with her hand and wrist. Oh, holds on and pins. Fia Reisek is on fire.
Sometimes the champ is the champ for a reason. There's always a lot of talk about the newcomer, the younger, the opponent. But listen, when you're too loud as the opponent, you always have to remember, Ryan, the champ is listening. And in this case, Fia Reisek, very solid here, not giving any room for compromise at the table, looking super awesome.
A little bit harder.
Yeah, difficult position now for Elin, who down 2-0, and it's always frustrating when you get pinned when you're trying to slip. Nothing worse where you just lose around without getting to even attempt the strategy that you've been planning in your mind.
And it also such a big confidence booster for your opponent. Once they feel that their hand and wrist, they can hold on, all of a sudden their posture, there is no more back pressure. And then once they start leaning forward a little bit, very daunting here. However, be careful here. We've seen it already twice today. 2-0 super dominant performances, and then all of a sudden, things start to change, and we could possibly see that this place will go crazy.
Yeah, and of course this is a best of 7 round match, as it is a world title match. So still time for Elin Janeheim to find a strategy to get back into this match. But right now it is running towards that of Fia Reisek. Let's have a look here, round 3.
Knuckles. Knuckles.
Again, that high, rigid back pressure from Fia Reisek. Knuckles up.
Shoulder.
You can see the depth in the grip there from Elin.
Wrist. Wrist. Knuckles. Don't move. Go!
Oh my goodness, Travis. That's dominant. It's very dominant from the world champ.
Someone send a message to Fia and let her know this is an entertainment sport. Maybe a time to do a little feeling, maybe a little flop wrist, go to the strap, do something to let us think that we can send someone to somehow defeat this magnificent champion. Fia Reisek looking super nasty strong here in Chicago.
Hög, inte låg, en hög hop. Förstår du?
Almost as high as Michael Todd.
All right, I'd hate to see Fia on the dance floor up there, kind of a little shaky with that technique.
Samma uppställning, men hög hop. Ja. Försök hon ska inte tro att det kommer en hop, men det ska komma en hop.
Just one more win required for Fia Reisek to secure yet again another title defense as world champion. 3-0 currently. Elin Janeheim really having to search now for some sort of opportunity. She hasn't been able to get to the strap. Will she fight? Will she fight Fia out of the strap, or will she try to slip once again? Or will Fia take the advice of Travis Bajan and put it in a hook and see what happens?
My goodness, let's do something here.
Here we go, round number 4.
Knuckles. 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 Don't move. Shoulder. Stop. Rest grip. Cover.
Yes. Covered, yes.
Elbows down.
All right, so this is a little strategy here. We're looking for anything to change the mood here. The set grip should allow for the connection to be just loose enough, and we should see her possibly, if there's ever a chance to get it out and into this strap, it will be right now. But ladies and gentlemen, always remember, the most important thing about arm wrestling is who are you arm wrestling. Today, Fia Reisek has shown, and Ryan, it is going to be very hard to find an athlete under 145 pounds that wants to see this lady. What an outstanding showing from the champ. Let's get Neil Pickup to the main stage to talk to the champ. Always fun to hear from the Swedish faithful, and none more decorated than Fia Reisek.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here with Fia Reisek. Now, we said we're going to go for a glass of wine tonight, yeah?
Yes, we will.
And you're buying. Wow, that was impressive. Fia, the other day when we were in the press conference and Elin said that she felt she'd been waiting a long time for this match and this was going to be the day, you looked across and said, no, not today. I get the feeling that you knew you came with something different these days.
I've been waiting for this match also. Really? Yes, definitely.
How much, I mean, that looked, with all due respect to Elin, that looked like you had a lot in reserve. Was that easy or just technical prowess?
It's never easy to arm wrestle, but it felt good. It felt good.
I'm into like shiny stuff, so let's get this belt on you for a minute and we'll carry on. Now, Fia, look at little fan here.
I love him.
Yeah.
I bring him home with me.
He was shouting throughout the match, Fia, you're the best. Could you hear him?
Yes, I heard, yes.
So, you probably heard the commentary team. I was listening to Ryan and Travis, and they spoke about this is an entertainment sport. She's just murdering her. Is there anybody in the division, anybody above the division, who can give this magnificent champion a match? And I'm sure inside you're thinking the same thing. What do you want to do next? Do you want to just stay at this weight and try to dominate, David Samusia style? Or will we see you step forward? What is in your head? What do you want to do?
It would be fun to step up a class.
And who are the people that are in your mind? Who would you like to face?
Of course, Sarah Beckman. I've said it before, and I say it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, today she was incredible. She is still the East versus West champion of the world, Fia Reisek.